Think about the last crisis call where someone unloaded a long, disjointed story and then looked at you like they were waiting for an answer. Did you catch yourself wondering what to say, or did you shift into getting the facts straight because the story was all over the place? That happens a lot. People tell you what happened, but not what it really means to them. And that deeper meaning is usually what's driving the crisis. If you stay at the surface, you can spend the whole call chasing details that never get you any closer to the real problem. But there's a simple skill that helps you do two things at once. You can check whether you're understanding what really matters, and you can show them that you're genuinely trying to understand. And when people feel that effort, they open up much faster. I'm about to show you exactly how it works. I'm Troy Seward. I spent 30 years in law enforcement, many of those years responding to mental health crises on the street. Now, I teach practical communication tools you can use on your next call. In crisis, people don't always say exactly what they mean. It's not that they're being difficult or misleading. They may give surface details that don't explain the whole problem, or they avoid the real issue because they don't trust you yet. So if you only respond to what they're saying on the surface, it's easy to miss what the crisis is actually about. And that's where reflection makes a big difference. Reflection is a skill that helps you go beyond the words someone is saying and start understanding the deeper issues that they're trying to communicate. It blends both the content of what they said and the emotion behind it. It makes it really easy to confuse reflection with paraphrasing and emotion labeling. So here's a simple way to keep them straight. Emotion labeling is naming the feeling you see or hear. Paraphrasing repeats the facts or content in your own words. And reflection looks at what a situation or event means to someone, not just their emotion and not just the facts. This is important because reflection is where a lot of officers either unlock the real issue or get stuck in surface level details. If you want more detail on emotion labeling or paraphrasing, you can use the links to my videos in the description below. So now that you know what reflection is, let's look at the two ways you can use it on a call. And in a moment, I'll show you a scenario where reflection changes the direction of the call. First, you can use reflection as a question. You check your understanding of the deeper issue by asking something like, it sounds like you're worried something bad will happen if you don't make that call. Is that what you mean? You can also use reflection as a statement. For example, you might reflect back the issue by saying, it seems like what your boss did leaves you feeling trapped and unsure what to do next. Notice how each version blends both the content and the emotion behind it, not just one or the other. That's what separates reflection from emotion labeling and paraphrasing. Let's walk through a quick example using a scenario you're likely to see on a mental health call. Someone tells you, my wife just left me after 15 years. She handled everything at home. We were high school sweethearts, and she was the only woman I ever loved. I don't know how I'm supposed to move on. A paraphrase would be, so after 15 years together, she left. And now you're unsure how to move forward because she handled so much at home. You're repeating the facts and sticking to surface level issues. An emotion label might be something like, you sound heartbroken and overwhelmed. You're just identifying the feeling, not the reasons behind it. But reflection goes deeper. It blends what they said with what the situation means to them. Here's how that sounds. It seems like you're not just hurting from the separation. You're scared about facing life on your own because she handled so much and now you're unsure of who you are without her. Hear the difference? You're speaking directly to what's underneath the story, not just the surface details. That deeper understanding is what helps the conversation move in a productive direction. Just remember that, much like we talked about in the last video on emotion labeling, your tone needs to sound genuinely interested, not judgmental. You want to show that you're trying to understand, not challenge them or question their choices. That tone is what helps reflection land the right way. When you use reflection effectively, two things happen that can shift the direction of the call. First, just stop guessing. You check whether you're actually understanding what matters most to them. And if you're right, they feel understood and usually share more of the real problem. If you're off, they correct you. And now you're back on track instead of chasing information that doesn't move the call forward. Second, reflection is a quick way to start building rapport. People in crisis can tell when you're making a real effort to understand them, and that lowers defensiveness. Once that wall comes down, they talk more openly about what they need, which helps you guide the conversation toward a safer and more productive direction. And that's the point in the call where things start to shift. Once you understand what really matters to them, everything that comes next becomes clearer and easier to work with. So when someone is talking, but you can tell there's more underneath it, reflection helps you uncover what's actually driving the crisis. And once you understand this, you can guide the call with a lot more confidence. If you want more real world tools like this, subscribe to the channel and check out my free monthly email, The Insightful Responder. If you want to keep building your active listening skills, the next video in this series is all about summarizing. Pull everything together at the right time and move the conversation forward with confidence. In the meantime, stay safe out there and train to respond, not just react, so you can make a difference when it matters most.